Hello, my fiery viewers. It is the Prince Fireheart coming at you for the third chapter of our Guardians of Equestria Rise of the Blue Sun fanfic. I got nothing else to say. Let's just get on in it. Chapter 3, A New Beginning, Part 3. In the mysterious lands of the Shadow Mountains, the Dark Lord Tyrek laughs at his triumphant return among the living and prepares himself for what is to come next. One of the disciples that resurrected him stepped forward and said,
"My Lord Tyrek, it's good to see you alive and more powerful than ever. I am Monarch, a former royal scholar for Princess Celestia, and your ever humble servant."
Tyrek replied, "Monarch." Sorry, let me try that. Trying to get a deep, raspy voice for it. I'm not trying to do the monarch. I'm not trying to do that again.
Monarch, it is great to see that there are those who still recognize my power.
No, that's not doing it. I can't do a deep voice. I'm sorry.
Monarch, it is good to see that there are those who still recognize my power. But pray tell, who is this Princess Celestia of whom you speak of?
Monarch then replied,
"She is certainly the one of the three alicorns, and the main ruler."
"Oh, where the heck did that come from?" I'm sorry. Let me try that again.
"She is currently the one of the three alicorns and the main ruler of Equestria. The others, of course, are Princess Luna and Princess Cadence."
Tyrek pondered on this and said,
Tell me how much has changed since I was last here.
"Of course, Master. But first there is something I must mention. Are you aware of the prophecy of the Blue Sun and Red Moon?"
Monarch asked.
Yes, I am aware, and I already have plans to deal with it,
Tyrek replied. Tyrek raised his hands and started using boulders and rocks to make a shape of some kind of creature. Then when he was finished, the creature took form and was a rock golem, with red eyes and glowing red markings all over his body. And it sounds like something from Ben 10, except it's red, not purple. Tyrek then said,
Now, my golem of hate and anger, go and destroy whoever is the Blue Sun.
"No need to fear, my lord, for I believe you will not have to search far,"
Monarch said. Monarch was holding an orb in his hands and showed Hawk at Twilight's house.
"It seems he's in Ponyville at the library. I'm sure you have no problem getting there,"
he remarked. The golem started moving and was heading for Ponyville. Sorry, I got indigestion today. The golem started moving and was heading for Ponyville, while the dark centaur was smiling with delight of what was to come next. Break in time, meaning next scene. While in Ponyville, most of every pony was surrounding Twilight's house, wondering who was this strange creature that came into town and were worried if he was a threat or not. In the house, Twilight was walking back and forth angrily while trying to figure out what to do next. Hawk and Spike were playing cards and were waiting for Twilight on what they should do next. Hawk was getting bored of beating Spike at cards, and he decided to ask Twilight and said, "Hey, what exactly are we doing?" Twilight looked at him angrily and said, I'm trying to think of a way to explain to every pony here after you shouted out that you were a human and were waving at every pony while they were freaking." Hawk took a minute to think and said, I don't see how that could have been avoided. I just hit my head on my desk. God, this guy's a moron. Twilight smacked herself on the face after I hit myself on the head with my desk. Smacked herself in the face after she heard that and was beginning to wonder that she might have one of the most unbelievably idiotic creatures in the whole universe. No dip. "I really hope Princess Celestia reads my letter soon," Twilight said to herself. All of a sudden, the library's door opened, and came in the other 5 bearers of the elements of harmony. Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Applejack, Fluttershy, and Rarity. Roll call, yes sir! Sorry. And Rarity came in to see the creature of which everyone was so worried about. I'm a slow reader, I'm sorry. Applejack said, "Hey there, Twa. We were wondering, what were you doing?" Sorry, I was trying to... I jumbled all the words together. Let me read that again. "Hey there, Twa. We were wondering what you were doing."
I see. I see you've been busy with the guest. Want us to leave you two alone?
Rainbow Dash said with a smirk. Twilight and Hawk were suddenly red, and it became even more awkward since Marcus came to Equestria. Who the heck is that? Who the heck is Marcus? We never heard anything about a Marcus before. Who the heck's Marcus? Twilight and Hawk suddenly turned red, and it became awkward since Marcus came to Equestria. Twilight quickly changed the subject and said, "So, everybody, I want you to meet Hawk, and he's from another world." Hawk said, "Nice to meet you all, and I'm going to guess that you're all friends of Twilight?" Applejack replied, "Why, yeah. We are, partner. Name's Applejack, and don't worry about the ponies in town. We told them that we would check it out and see if you were dangerous or not." Yeah. Glad to see everyone still thinks I'm dangerous, even though all I did was say hi, and everyone started running, he commented.
Twilight then replied angrily, "You were yelling at every pony's ears off and were telling them that you were an alien from outer space."
Hawk thought for a moment and said, "I still think that's unavoidable. This guy's an idiot, I swear." Twilight sighed and said,
"Let me introduce the rest of the gang. This is Rainbow Dash." "That's me, and I'm no doubt the best flyer in Equestria,"
Rainbow Dash said proudly. Hawk thought to himself, well, someone thinks of herself too big. Yeah, Twilight's got it. Rainbow, whoever she is, Rainbow Dash, thank you, has an ego. Twilight continued, "This is Rarity. A pleasure to meet you, Mr. What was your last name?" Rarity asked. "Gregory," he answered. "Oh, yes. A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Gregory," she finished. Hawk thought again to herself, wow, a ladylike unicorn. So far I thought they were all easily annoyed and get angry really quick. But I continued on, "This is Fluttershy." "Fluttershy," said Quality. Hello, it's, nice to meet you. Hawk thought once more to himself, okay, I really didn't hear that, but she looks to be too shy, so I'll just let it go. Twilight then said, "And last, this is..." Pinkie Pie went up to Hawk's face and said, "Hi there, my name's Pinkie Pie, it's really nice to meet you. Do you want to be friends?" Hang on, I'm trying to read as fast as I can, because, Pinkie Pie. "Want to be friends? Are you really managing for outer space? Are you going to eat our brains? Do you like parties and cakes?" Hawk then replied, sure, not really, ew, why would I eat brains, and no, I don't like parties and cakes." "I love them!" Pinkie Pie smiled and said, "Ooh, we're going to be the best of friends ever!" I really hope my mom didn't hear that. She gets annoyed when I do this sometimes. Hawk thought one last time to himself and said, "Awesome! I bet it's going to be a blast with her." Get your mind out of the gutters, you. Twilight then asked, "That is everyone. Do you have any questions?" "Is that a presentation?" Hawk was looking at them with frightening looks and said, yeah. Who's the big rocky guy?" This guy just turned into something really funny. Everyone looked at the window behind them, and all of a sudden, BAM! Sorry. BAM! No, that's not good enough. Everyone looked at the window behind them, and all of a sudden, BAM! The entire wall of the library was smashed open, and a stone hand grabbed Hawk. Hawk gave out a grunting pain, Oh, that should have been Hawk and gave out a grunted pain. A grunt of pain. But instead it says he gave out a grunting pain. A grunt of pain. Well, the hand was squeezing him. He looked up to the thing that grabbed him and saw that it was some kind of rock monster. Before he had a chance to do anything, the monster threw him into a house and was unconscious. The others got up and went to face the monster, but before they could do anything, the monster saw 3 little girls nearby and grabbed one of them. The one it picked up was a girl with pure white skin, a small horn, and 2 shades of purple in her hair, and yelled, okay, hang on, how does Sweetie Belle sound again?
Help! Someone help me!
Sweetie Belle! No! Put her down now, you ruffian! Rarity yelled. Hawk got back up from the floor, walked towards the hole in the wall, and saw that the monster had a kid in its hands, and feared of what would happen. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a surge of power was coming out of his hands. Before he knew it, he shot a ball of blue energy out of his hands, right at the face of the monster. He used water pulse. Go, Bulbasaur! Squirtle! Crap! I messed that up. No, he shot a blue ball of energy. DBZ reference. No. Yeah, okay, it hit the face of the monster. When the ball hit it, it started stumbling back and dropped Sweetie Belle. As Charlotte was about to catch her with her magic, suddenly Sweetie Belle was caught with a blue aura around her and was floating towards Hawk. He grabbed her when she was close enough and asked, "Are you all right?" Sweetie Belle answered,
Yes, thank you! You're my hero!
Rarity ran up to Sweetie Belle and grabbed her from Hawk and said, "Oh, Sweetie Belle, thanks, Celestia, you're okay. Thank you, Hawk, for protecting my sister." Hawk replied, "It was no problem." The guy sounds like an upbeat. It was no problem. Okay, now beat the rock dude. Then everyone's attention was back to the monster, and it was about to charge right for everyone. But Hawk ran right towards it, and he gathered whatever he was using before. Only this time, he concentrated all in his right arm, jumped high in the air, and smashed his hand against the monster's face. A high explosion happened upon impact and blew the monster's face off and sent Hawk back into the same house the monster threw him in at earlier. Sorry, I burped again. Trying to keep it quiet. Excuse me. As soon as the dust was cleared, every pony came outside to check to see if the monster was dead. After a couple of minutes of the rock not moving, everyone was cheering for its defeat. One pony said, "Oh yeah, that raw thing went down hard." Another pony said, "Woohoo! Looks like we got a new hero." Then another pony said, "3 cheers for our hero!" As everyone was cheering for their new hero, the main 6 and Spike checked to see if Hawk was okay. But it looked like he was out cold. He was out cold for good. And his right arm was burning red, like as if it was on fire. They checked to see if he was still breathing. He was, and it didn't seem like nothing else was wrong. Twilight looked at Hawk's face and said, "Hawk, you alright?" Hawk opened his eyes barely and said, "Never felt better in my whole life." Then everything went black for Hawk. A couple of seconds passed for him, and then started to realize certain things around him. It felt like he was in a bed and then he thought he was in a hospital. Since last time he remembered, he was in intense pain. As he was opening his eyes, he saw someone in a white robe with gold accessories around her neck and wrist. She had both a long horn with 2 wings on her back, and her hair was a very light color of a rainbow on it. He thought he was looking at an angel. Then she started speaking to him in a soft voice. "Why, hello there." "Hello," he replied. Princess Celestia. I cannot talk today, sorry. Princess Celestia then asked, "There is no reason for you to be afraid of me, is there?" "Oh, no, I'm just a little speechless," Hawk said while he was blushing. Uh-oh. Don't look under the covers. No, I'm kidding. Get your mind out of the gutters, you pervs. No clop.
Oh, I see. That does happen to my subjects sometimes. My name is Princess Celestia, and I am one of the 3 rulers of Equestria. Twilight has told me much about you, although she didn't mention you were being a bit childish and making her getting into so much trouble in such a few minutes, she said.
Yep, that sounds about right, he replied with a smile. Princess Celestia giggled more after that.
As Hawk was about to get up from his bed, he suddenly felt intense pain in his right arm, and was groaning in pain. Repetitive. Celestia was using her magic to ease the pain, and Hawk was able to lay back down, relaxing. I'm sorry, Hawk, but it seems that when you were using the magic that was inside you, you expelled a lot more energy than you should have. And it backfired on you and burnt your arm a bit. Luckily, it was a 2nd-degree burn and should go away in no time, said the princess.
Well, that's good to know, Hawk said and asked, but how is it that I can use magic?
Does your race ever use magic before?
That is grammatically incorrect. Let me reread that. Oh man, I have indigestion. That is not good to record.
Has your race ever used magic before? She asked.
No, never. In fact, it was something we could never achieve, he answered.
Celestia turned her head away from Hawk for a moment and thought about it. And then, when she was done, she looked back at him with a smile and said, I believe it's because that after you had died in your world, you were in a way reborn into this world with the ability to use magic and was able to gain your cutie mark.
What? How did you know about me dying? He asked nervously.
Twilight told me about it, and I'm sorry that had happened to you, the princess answered. Hawk then said, It's okay. I really didn't have that much going for, and...
Wait. Cutie mark? Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Yes, the one on your left shoulder, she replied, and pointed at the mark. Hawk looked over to his left shoulder and saw a symbol. It was a white 4-pointed star in the middle with aqua-colored points at each corner of it, and a huge blue circle around it.
Kind of resembles Twilight's a little bit, just a little bit.
Hawk was looking at it with amazement and was wondering what it meant. He also wondered why it was called a cutie mark. That part was just bothering to him. He then asked, Hey, princess, why is it called a cutie mark? Celestia said, Well, we have always called it a cutie mark for a long time, and its name was never changed from it. Then she asked, Why? Does the name bother you?
Well, to be truthful, yes it does.
I'm more of a manly type about some of these things. Hawk was thinking about what else it could be called, and then he remembered what every pony in town was calling him, a hero after defeating the rock monster. So he thought for a perfect name for it and said, You know what? I think I'll call this a hero's mark. Celestia giggled and said, I think that would be a fitting name for someone who is perfect for the prophecy. Hawk then said, Yep, I'm really good at these kinds of names.
Wait, prophecy?
Back at the lair. Oh crap, what the heck is wrong with me? Back at the lair of Lord Tyrek and his disciples, Monarch reported out to his master with great fear and disappointment.
My lord, I fear that the beast that you have sent has been destroyed by the blue sun.
It matters not. The golem was just a taste of things to come. And there is still time to prepare for the red moon. Prepare some of your disciples, for they are about to be awarded for their loyalty towards me, Tyrek said in an evil smile. With an evil smile. Monarch smiled wickedly and said,
Of course, Master. With pleasure.
End of chapter 3. Well, that does it for today. This gets uploaded right after I'm done recording, so when I press the stop button, you're gonna see it on YouTube. Have a good day. I'm the Prince Fireheart. You're my fiery viewers. I will see you in the next chapter. Later.